Hi, I'm John Vance. I'm stuck on the roof here at Peoria Nissan at 9151 West Bell Road. And our second great cause partner of the day, we're up here trying to drive awareness to all these great cause partners that we have here in the Greater Valley area. And what they do, what their needs are, what they're doing in the community in terms of helping others, and what their mission is. And it's just been phenomenal to learn all this over the course of the last week. And I'm real proud to have with us Marsha Porter. She's the Executive Director of Crisis Nursery Incorporated here in Phoenix. And I've known them personally before in the past and all the great work they do. And Marsha, welcome. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up on the roof.
Yeah, were you shaking coming up the roof ladder a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a little shaky, but it's in pretty good shape. Let's start by kind of sharing with us, if you will, what Crisis Nursery's mission is.
John, our mission is breaking the cycle of child abuse and neglect. And we do that in a lot of different ways. 35 years ago, we opened the first children's shelter in Phoenix, really dedicated to families in crisis and young children. And over the last 35 years, we've expanded, we've added programs, really to try to meet the needs of the families that we're encountering in the community that are in crisis and facing emergencies and don't want to hurt their kids.
Right. I mean, it's a great organization. I didn't realize 35 years ago.
Yeah?
Wow.
Get middle-aged.
Get middle-aged. I'd like to be 35 again.
So would I.
Okay. Just thinking. There's some shocking statistics that clarify the need for your program. And, you know, I've been posting them this morning on Facebook and also tweeting them out on Twitter. And can you give us some facts about child abuse and neglect in the greater state of Arizona?
Arizona receives about 35,000 reports of suspected abuse and neglect every year, and that results in a tragic 20 children every day being removed from their homes because of abuse and neglect. Currently, we've got 10,500 children in our foster care system because they can't safely be at home and have not found a permanent plan. Far too many infants die before their first birthday here in Arizona, and we had over 75 children die of maltreatment last year. Better. We have to do better.
We have to do better. I would definitely agree. When I was posting some of those statistics, you have 20 children a day, right here in just Greater Phoenix, right?
Right.
Amazing. How do families get access to your programs? I mean, so they're in need, right? You know, crisis obviously happens. How do they gain access to your programs?
We have a 24-hour hotline that people can call. All of our services are free to families. We want to prevent abuse and neglect from happening in the first place. And we want to be there for parents with the strength to ask for help. So our shelter is open 24/7, staffed 24/7, able to take in children. Our other programs, we have an early childhood education program for families below the poverty level in Central Phoenix. We also have a growing foster care program. Those 10,500 children I referred to, we're small. We have 60 children in care right now, but our foster families just do a phenomenal job with these kids. And we also have home visiting for parents with really young children that have been determined to be at risk of abuse and neglect, and we really are trying to get in their homes and work with them. Parents want to be good parents.
So it's about education.
It is. It's about education. It's about prevention. It's about giving them the tools and the skills that they need to be the parents that they want to be.
You provide a lot of different services. I mean, no question about it. You must really rely also on the volunteer effort as well.
We do. We have at any point in time at Crisis Nursery 100 community volunteers that are assisting in our programs. And they make our programs so much richer. They give young kids, the opportunities to interface with a variety of adults, men, women, couples, families, that they would not normally experience. And they just make our programs just so much more robust. We couldn't do what we do without our community volunteers.
Still a big need for volunteers, for additional volunteers?
Always. We need individuals to help our staff doing the programs that we do, but we also need congregations, civic organizations, and things like that want to do a one-time project at the nursery. Intermingle with our kids, but help us get some of the stuff done that we need to do, whether it be maintenance, whether it be painting.
Sure.
That running a household 24/7 entails.
Well, that kind of brings up a good point too, or one that I've asked pretty much everybody, right? I know your services are free to children, right, and those families. How do you guys receive your funding?
We do have government contracts, but over half of our funding is for private contributions, individuals, corporations, foundations. It allows us to really be responsive to the needs of the family, not some government program that is determined you do X, Y, and Z. So about half of our money comes from government contracts and grants. The other half is our community.
You know, it's interesting because and I've mentioned this several times, so I'm sorry for all of you for hearing this like for probably the 20th time, but you know, in the last couple of years, obviously, giving has decreased, they claim, you know, not perfectly perfect statistic, but by 50%, but yet need, right, during this time frame, and a lot of obviously tough things happen to a lot of families, right, actually increased 85%. Have you seen the same trends at Crisis Nursery?
Pretty much. I wouldn't say 50%, but we certainly see an increase, and the demand for service goes up. Recession and the economy have hurt the nonprofit sector.
Sure.
Who it's really hurt is vulnerable families that were living paycheck to paycheck, month to month, and we're seeing a lot of families now seeking our services that we haven't seen before, that have histories of stable employment, histories of owning homes, that all of a sudden find themselves not owning a home without a job. And those families have even more difficulty sometimes navigating a pretty complex social service and support network. So our social workers try to do their best in helping them do that. We work with a lot of other agencies. No agency in Phoenix can meet the full needs of any family.
Sure.
So do a lot of interfacing with some of the agencies that have been up on the roof with you or will be here later this week. But we really have seen a drop in donations, an increase in volunteerism, which is a good thing.
That is good.
But also an increase in demand for service.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. The economy's re-emerging. Many people would think, we certainly see it even from the business standpoint here, and I think it's fair and accurate. I don't think that, you know, we're all the way out of the woods or anything, but guess what? It is substantially better than it's been the last couple of years. So I know that you do some things, hopefully to get people back, some of the people that did give, and, you know, regretfully, like any of us, you know, probably had to cut back some. Right. And it's great that the volunteerism, you know, really rose during that time period, because that's another way of giving back, for sure. But you host a luncheon, and it's called Breaking the Cycle. Tell us a little bit about that.
Every year we have a luncheon. This year it will be on Tuesday, October 25th at the Arizona Billboard. It's a free luncheon. We do ask for money at the end.
Sure.
But that's a voluntary give. But really it's an hour. Many times we've gone to fundraisers that are 3 and 4 and 5 hours long. We've got this down pat. We do it in 60 minutes. You're in and out. You have a great lunch. And really hear about what Crisis Nursery does. Again, it is our fundraiser every fall. We also have another fundraiser in the spring through a volunteer group that do a night benefit, which is one of those 3 or 4 hour ones.
Sure.
But encourage everybody to come. Visit our website. If you'd like to find out more about Crisis Nursery, it's a great way to do it in an hour and have a great time as well.
How can people find out more about what you do outside of our broadcast today, more about what you do, or more importantly, how to get involved? How do they reach out to Crisis Nursery, right, to become a part of that great organization?
Well, our website is crisisnurseryphx.org, and there's all sorts of ways on that website that you can get involved. You can find out about volunteer opportunities, you can find out how to donate, and you can find out about our programs and services. We also encourage people to call us and ask for a tour. There's nothing I like better than to show off our programs.
You're located on Polk, is that right?
Our administrative offices are at 24th Street in Polk, which is just north of Van Buren. Our shelter is just east of Maricopa Medical Center on 28th Street in Roosevelt.
I got you, great. Well, that's all really, really good information. You guys do great work there, and I mean, I know personally that you do, and really proud of all that you guys do, and hopefully we can drive some awareness to a lot of people out there, right, to get involved in any of these great causes, and certainly Crisis Nursery Incorporated here in Phoenix. And again, as Marsha said, you can find out a lot more information, as we all know, on the web these days, right, at crisisnurseryphx.org, correct?
Correct.
And that's the best way to reach out to them and figure out how you can get involved in this worthy cause. So, Marsha, thanks so much for coming up to the roof.
John, thank you.
Really appreciate the time today and appreciate what you guys do here in the community.
Thanks to Peoria and Nissan for all you're doing as well.
Absolutely. We're having a lot of fun doing it, too.
Good.
We really are. So I'm John Vance here at Peoria Nissan, along with Marsha from the Phoenix Crisis Nursery, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, John.